It was one of those nights that remind you why Stephen Curry is still the face of basketball brilliance. Under the bright lights of Chase Center, with the Golden State Warriors gasping for momentum after a shaky start to the season, Curry lit up the San Antonio Spurs in a performance that will be remembered for years. The final score read 123-120, but the story behind it was far deeper, one of fire, resilience, and the power of one man to change everything. From the opening tip, the Warriors looked disjointed. Defensive rotations were slow, ball movement was hesitant, and the young Spurs, led by Victor Wembanyama, seemed ready to deliver a statement win. San Antonio led by as many as 16 points in the first half, controlling the tempo and punishing Golden State in transition. Fans in the arena were restless, sensing yet another frustrating night. Then, something changed, the kind of change that only Stephen Curry can summon. After starting the game quietly, Curry began to heat up late in the second quarter. A deep three from 32 feet. A crossover into a pull-up mid-range. Then another triple in transition. Suddenly, the energy inside the building flipped. Every fan could feel it, that electric rhythm, that unmistakable sense that when Curry finds his groove, anything is possible. The Warriors trimmed the deficit to single digits by halftime, trailing 62-55, and it was clear that the storm was coming. Then came the third quarter, one of the most explosive stretches of Curry's entire career. He scored 22 points in that frame alone, torching every defender the Spurs threw his way. When Wembanyama tried switching onto him at the top of the key, Curry danced around him, spun, and hit a step-back three that nearly blew the roof off the arena. Moments later, he hit another from the logo, then pointed to the crowd with that familiar, confident grin. The Warriors erupted on a 43-28 run, turning the game around completely. For a team that has struggled to find consistency early in the season, this was a lifeline. The chemistry between Curry and Klay Thompson resurfaced for the first time in weeks. Klay hitting timely shots, Draymond Green directing traffic on defense, and even rookie Brandon Podziemski making smart plays off the bench. It was Warriors basketball again, fast, fluid, and fearless. And at the heart of it all was the man who has been doing it for over a decade, Stephen Curry. But as magical as the night was, it wasn't without heartbreak. Midway through the fourth quarter, forward Jonathan Kuminga went down awkwardly after contesting a layup. He grabbed his knee in visible pain, immediately signaling to the bench. The entire Warriors sideline went silent. Trainers rushed to his aid, and the crowd, moments ago deafening, fell quiet in collective worry. Kuminga had been one of the bright spots for Golden State this season, his athleticism, defense, and energy helping stabilize the rotation. Seeing him limp off was a gut punch. Curry, however, refused to let the mood collapse. With under 5 minutes remaining and the Spurs clawing back, he took over again. A spinning layup through contact. A deep three off a broken play. A floater high off the glass. Every shot felt heavier, every moment louder. The scoreboard showed 118-118 with just over a minute left, and that's when Curry delivered the dagger. A high screen from Draymond, a step to his left, and a rainbow three over Devin Vassell that splashed through pure. The crowd exploded. The Warriors' bench emptied in celebration. That was the shot, the one that sealed the comeback. When the final buzzer sounded, Curry had 46 points on 15 of 27 shooting, including 10 made threes. It was his 73rd career 40-point game, and perhaps one of the most emotionally charged performances of his career. He waved to the fans, hugged Draymond, and nodded toward Klay, a silent acknowledgement that the dynasty, though battered, still breathed. When the final buzzer sounded, Curry had 46 points on 15 of 27 shooting, including 10 made threes. It was his 73rd career 40-point game, and perhaps one of the most emotionally charged performances of his career. He waved to the fans, hugged Draymond, and nodded toward Klay, a silent acknowledgement that the dynasty, though battered, still breathes. In the post-game press conference, head coach Steve Kerr called it vintage Steph. He said, "Every time people think he's slowing down, he gives you a masterpiece like this." That's who he is. That's why he's special. Reporters nodded, and even the opposing coach, Greg Popovich, couldn't help but smile, saying, "You can defend perfectly, and he'll still find a way. That's greatness." Yet behind the joy, concern lingered. Kuminga's injury overshadowed much of the celebration. Early reports indicated a possible knee sprain, but the team would wait for MRI results. Kerr's tone was hopeful but cautious, saying, "We'll know more tomorrow, but we're praying it's not serious. He's been huge for us." Curry himself echoed the same emotion, dedicating the win to Kuminga and promising that the team would keep fighting for him. As fans filed out of Chase Center, the emotions were mixed: triumph, relief, and anxiety. But one truth stood out clearly: Stephen Curry remains the soul of this franchise. His performance reminded everyone why he's still at the top of the game, even in his mid-30s. The energy he brings, the leadership he shows, and the calm confidence in chaos, it's what defines this era of basketball. For 2 hours of basketball theater, fans witnessed everything: adversity, comeback, injury, and inspiration. The kind of game that doesn't just fill highlight reels but strengthens legacy. Curry didn't just score 46 points, he reignited belief. Belief that the Warriors can still contend. Belief that greatness doesn't fade. Belief that as long as number 30 wears blue and gold, anything is possible. And as the night ended, the Golden State Warriors are once again caught in the middle of a major trade discussion, and this time, the name in question could change everything about their future. Lauri Markkanen, the all-star forward from the Utah Jazz, is reportedly available on the trade market again. And as soon as that news dropped, it didn't take long for the Warriors' name to resurface in the rumor mill. According to Sports Illustrated's Chris Mannix, the Jazz are open for business. That means teams looking for an elite scoring forward are circling, and Golden State is one of them. The Warriors already made a strong push to trade for Markkanen during the 2024 offseason, but Utah held firm at the time, refusing to part with their franchise centerpiece. Now, with the Jazz exploring new directions, there's a renewed chance for the Warriors, but at a potentially massive cost. Let's be clear, Markkanen isn't just any player. The 2023 All-Star is one of the most skilled and efficient defensive forwards in the league today. Standing at 7 feet tall, he can stretch the floor, score at all three levels, and fits perfectly into the kind of spacing and ball movement system that Golden State thrives on. For the Warriors, the idea of pairing Markkanen with Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler is incredibly tempting. However, as NBA insider Jake Fisher recently pointed out, there's one big problem: the money. Markkanen's new contract is massive, $46.4 million this season, and Golden State's salary cap situation is already one of the tightest in the league. Fisher said that the Warriors don't really seem to have the contracts or the juice to get a deal done in this new post-Jimmy Butler era. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. It just means something difficult would have to happen. And that's where things get uncomfortable. To make a deal for Lauri Markkanen work financially, the Warriors would likely need to trade Draymond Green. Yes, that Draymond Green, the emotional leader, defensive anchor, and one of the main pillars of the Warriors dynasty. It's a move that no one in Golden